Oh, it's time to
Grab
drink.
your glasses, family. It's time for us to get started. I'm so excited. Sitting up here, Kid Magic Rock. Shots out. Here we go.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink.
Take a breath. Take your breath.
Now, grab your glass for some water.
Grab your glass
Lift your pitcher of that water.
or bottle.
Get that pitcher of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your
Or should
water.
I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water.
Move your body.
Move your body and drink some water.
Move your body.
Move your body and drink some water. Bam. Just move your body. Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your
Or should
water.
I say, move, then drink.
Move your body. Move your body.
Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your
Let's
ancestors.
toast.
Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your
Or should
water.
I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Lift and pour yourself some water.
Pour.
Move your body, drink some water.
Move it.
Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. But remember to stay healthy. Remember the four pillars. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Drink half your weight in ounces.
Eat a culturally appropriate diet.
Behave. Take your breath.
Come on.
Lift and pour.
You can do it.
Move your body.
Come on. Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink up.
Come on. Drink it. Drink it. Drink it. Come on. Lift it. Drink it. Come on. Drink that health in.
Drink, 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 drink.
Drink your water.
Take your breath. Lift and pour.
Lift it.
Move your body.
Come on. Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Drink, 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 drink.
Come on. Come on.
Drink your water. Take your breath. Lift and pour.
Come on. Pour it.
Move your body.
Move.
Toast your ancestors. Drink, 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 drink.
What?
Drink your water. Drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Oh, family, it is so good to be standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscles. Let me put on my glasses, anime, please. Where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hot Tim. Of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simple production. All day, every day. We strive to blow up your old paradigm. Oh, I am so glad to be sitting here with you because I could be laying it down. Family, I know many of y'all seeing this and this is late. He's like, Brother Tim, what happened? You know, what happened to Sofa Chat? And what happened? Listen, I got hit by life. I don't know what it was, but it laid me down. I was feeling weak. I couldn't even look at my phone screen without my head hurting. So I made it through. I had my first day back at the adventure this today. And it was hectic, but it was beautiful because I got to see some future entrepreneurs out there doing their thing. Shouts out to the Millennium Rockets. Young people are trying to learn about entrepreneurship, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, and a lot of parents came out to support. So we want to make sure. Matter of fact, let's give them young folk a round of applause. Also, anime, start my music, baby, please. Start the music. So, so I was going through my own little personal struggle, and it was like a perfect storm because I had, when I'm taking supplements, I take breaks. And this hit right when I was taking a break, and I didn't want to take the supplements or you know what I'm saying, because I wanted to see what was going on. Because like I tried to take a 2-day break, but the good part about it was I was able to do a fast for 24 hours. I also was stuck basically in the bed, and got to do some thinking. And the crazy part about it is, if you have been keeping track of Gye-Nyame and you check out how we do the dates, you know that this is the break time for Gye-Nyame and Brother Hatim. So I didn't really have to put out a video, but I wanted to make sure I want to do the weekly ritual toast and try to make sure that we're at least doing that part. Right now, I am retuning and getting myself together. I am sitting up here, trying to contemplate how we're gonna handle this Kwanzaa season. I know all that should be already planned, but there's other things that we need to be doing as well as the regular stuff. Because it's time for us in 2023 to be able to move to another level. I fell off on a lot of stuff, but I took a lot of time, and also I stayed away from the social media for about 24 hours as well, and got some time to really maul some of the stuff around in my head, allow it to turn and be like, boom, all right, cool. We're gonna turn this corner in 2023. We got a lot of stuff to do. We got a lot of stuff accomplished in 2022, but we got even more stuff that we're gonna have to really work on in 2023. That's the goal. Right? So, those of you that want to keep up with that, go to freegnjecourse.com. Not only get the free e-course, but also be able to get our emails that we do send out to let people know. I'm not going to try to pack up your email list. I'm trying to do one thing. I'm trying to do one email maybe per week or bi-weekly. I'm still working on it. And we want to make sure that it's full of information. All right. I was letting y'all know about my journey with these mushrooms, and also I wanted to let y'all know about some of the other supplements and some of the things that I'm reading and studying and trying to keep up on. So, with all that being said, now let's get to why we here. So, what I'm sipping on today, this is that ambrosia water. I've been experimenting with. This one has that ambrosia sea moss in it, and some ginseng. So, and I got to let that ambrosia age for this one. And I wasn't able to finish my cut for the day because, like I said, when I got to the adventure, I hit it running.
It's the proverb. The proverb of the day.
Oh, proverb of the day, proverb of the day. Those who do not get out and get it should not expect for it to be sitting on your bedstand the next morning. Just popped up. I don't know. All right, but anyway, so let's get straight to the toast, family. I want to lift up the glass to our Creator by whatever name you choose to have. By whatever name you choose to call it Creator, we lift up our glass. We salute that Creator. We salute that Creator. We want to be conscious of it, even though it's around us all the time. The key is being conscious. The key is being conscious of this creative power. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it in one of my short pieces that I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? Being conscious of this creative force in our lives, or being conscious of the wealth in our life. Right? But anyway, we lift up our glass and we salute this Creator and we say, Ashe. From there, we're going to move to our list of our ancestors. And of course, with this being a ritual, I'm going through the whole list. Those of you who want to participate, as well as want to get your ancestors on the list that we read here, right? By all means, you can do that by, once again, going to freegnjecourse.com and getting on that email list. All right, and then also you can learn a little bit more about us. We got calling on those ancestors, those individuals that stood in the gap for us, calling on our ancestors, calling on those individuals that took care of us and fed us. Calling on those ancestors, because I didn't do that. Anime, did you do that? Was that on purpose? Well, anyway, the ancestors are here. We're calling on our ancestors, right? We're calling on our ancestors, those upon whom formed the bridge for us to live, right? Those that protected us and those that provided for us when we couldn't provide for ourselves, those who fed us hope in times of despair, those who prayed us up, and those who cussed us out when we needed it. We want to lift up those ancestors. We want to remember them. And I'm going to go down the list of those that people have sent in from Gye-Nyame Journey as well as mine. Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert the Texan, Davis, Herb Brown, Senior, Rosalie Taylor, Georgia, William Walter, Christopher Fanny Gasson, Lena, Chris, Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Avara Brown, Jenny Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tapper, John Fallar, Montague Pittman, L, Nomo X, Pet Mount Rob, Malika Kaur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, the Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajidi, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pullin, Luxter Brothers, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Patrick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Lonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renneman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Angosa Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dixon, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Murray B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Anna Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza, Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Spell, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mae Moss, Althea Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kenty, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mae Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amitep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas Alula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs, Thomas Alula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank and Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dillymon Aries, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan. We have William Walter West, Nigella Paris, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and May Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFreedis Hines, Anna S. Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scatterberry, Wilson Hadley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Kevin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee, Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Ida Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nayland Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingle, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gaston, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy. We got Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nickel, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Torre, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Cleaves, Lee Irby, Tom Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hetty Reed, Charles Reed, Eulin and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Quillen and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie, Harriet Tubman McKay, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Ann Nino Baby Hatch, Had Senior, Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Nene Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Japel Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlington Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls here in West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, and Pierce, Donna Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, J.C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruben Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Irvin, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevada Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easy, Rashawn Easy, Javan McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekel Maha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Ivory, Mazarin Coper, George Swan, Imani Gracie, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Evans McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We also have, coming from our black book, and this is not the old school black book, this is the black book where we put our ancestors in. Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James, Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shank, Lewis, Ronald Sheldon Jr., Damian Todd, Stina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundrum, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quincy Sample, Candace Simmons, Summer Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin. We got Elizabeth Johnson. We got Mr. Thornton, Johanna, Jashandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walter, Nalauti Sue Walter, Emma Walter, James Randolph Jow, Sonny, Pete Walter, William Walter, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem and Coleman. We got Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, also known as Dr. Karimi Mackey. We got Victor Bowden, Drusilla, Kitty Berger. We got Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, T.L.R. Woods Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown. We got Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamara Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Cincinnati, Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samantha Damon, Ethel Marshall. We got Steve Dougie Shelton. We got William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Gray, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Gisela Merle, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Merle, Charles A. Young. We got Sylvester Foster, James and Lizzie Winston, Abe and Julia Lawrence, Ozell Leathers Sr., Gladys Cofer, Ozell Leathers Jr., Geneva Jackson. We got R.J. Lacey, also known as Tooth Don, got Sable Winston, Chris Kinney, Margaret Minter. We got Mae Smith, Juanette Florence, Stith Gibbs, Carl William Duncan Jr., Jana Callahan, Danny Hill, Miko D. Nice here, Andre Martin, Mabel Williams, Terry Brown, Teresa Biddle, Lavonna Kincaid, Carla Sori, Reverend Jesse Porter, Deacon Ezekiel Dennis, Brennan Porter, Craig Lee Jones, Granny Bueller, Papa Al Reeson, Inez Smith, George Gamble Sr., Joseph Garrett, LaShonda Jamar, Leroy Riley, Mona Yolanda Hunter, Yvonne Patrice Turner, Herman Reeves, Amanda Reeves, Josh Reeves, Lena Kate, Pam Johnson, Vera and Reese Fisher, Jerry Johnson McCullough, also known as Mama Moon. We got Sheila Ann Lee, Panchita Alba, Donna Brooks, Barbara Moses, Ida Spate, Eric Branson, Eric Winston. We got Darren Bridges, Francisco Matisse, also known as Sonny, Charles Stevenson Jr., King Pleasant, Sarah Keith, Lena Shepard, Bird L. Willen, Mabel Haskins, Wilbur Shepard, Dennis Jackson, William Haskins, Geraldine Jackson, Henry Jackson Sr., Edward Jones, Leslie Travis, Charlize Barnes, DeJuan Lewis Taylor, Madeline Yates, June Dandridge, Daisy Wilford, Frederick Smith, James and Amanda Baldwin, Linda Williams, Sally Williams, Vivian Stevenson, Irene Harris, Callie Williams, Abu Scales, Pat Williams, Mrs. Bertha Walker, Tony Ogletree, Grandma Marguerite, Tracy Emery, Hassan Abdul Razak, Vivian Johnson, BJ Jones, Avi Shell, Roboleto Monterosa, got Chet Word, Mama Rahani, Deborah Michelle Nash, Joseph Lane Miller III, Renoko Rashidi, Bobby Battle, Fred Gasson, Tracy Gatson, Adora Gibson, Elder Simba, Brother Bashir, Tommy Hustle, also known as Tommy the Barber, Elder Phil Haynes, Arminta Brantley, Aunt Carol Walker Welsh. We got Carrie Ann Brooks, Jeremiah Williams, Tony Smith, Antoinette Pinson, Juanita Mosley, Michelle Simons, Irene Johnson, Aunt Pauline, Nanny Baker. We got Ian Dabney, Quincy Yelder, Josiah Miller, Brother David Moore, Lisa Smith, Willie Thomas, Never Fitzgerald, Odessa Bell, Mary Lou Rosello, and Yay Motley. Oh, family. Please, man, we're going to lift up our glass because to us that do this toast, to us that celebrate our ancestors, for those who understand the power and the relationship that we have with our ancestors, they're more than a name on a shirt. We lift them up and we celebrate their lives and we celebrate their spirits and we lift them up. We lift them up. We lift them up and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move from the past, we move to the present moment. The present moment, this is our time. This is our time, and the question that I constantly got to ask, that I'm going to continue asking and forcing you to have to face is, what are you doing with your time?
Are you adding and building legacy? Are you adding or subtracting time? Are you adding or giving up and surrendering space? Family, what are you doing with your moments? These moments are what our ancestors fought for us to have, and we need to use these moments to build. I'm not saying I have fun, saying, but we got some work to do. So we lift up our glass, recognizing our responsibility for this moment and in this moment. And we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, we move to our future generation. We toast our children, our children's children on to infinity, family. We toast those that are here, present now. We toast those that are coming in the future. We lift them up. We lift them up. We lift them up and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we're going to move to all of our relations and we lift up our glass and we salute all of our relations and we say, Ashe. From all of our relations, we move to those special interests that some of us have, those groups and those causes that we want to support. We lift up our glass, and we also want to send out healing energy, that wellness energy. We want to send it out to all those that's in our circles, that's in our families, that's in our tribes that are in need of them. I'm lifting up the glass. You gonna say some names, because they out there. Hell, I was one of them a couple of days ago. And in many cases, I still am now. And some of y'all might not even be physically hurt, but y'all are emotionally hurt, economically hurt. Come on now. Come on now. Ashe. From there, family, we're going to move to that selfish toast. This is for you now. This is for you. I ask you as I ask every day, what is it that you need right now in this moment to move towards your greatness? What is it that you need right now in this moment? Come on. Come on. Come on. Because the greater you become, the better we become. The greater you become, the greater we become. So let's rise up together. We lift up our glass. Come on. Lifting it up, and we say Ashe. From there, family, we're going to move rapidly. Going to move fast. Right? Going to move from that selfish toast to that tribal toast. My tribe is Gye-Nyame. What's your tribe? Lift up your tribe, family. Come on now. Let me hear it. Let me hear you. All right. Okay. Ashe. Family, I want to lift up the most beautiful, the most inspired, the wisest, and the bravest individual in the room right now. I'm talking about you. I'm lifting you up again. I'm toasting you. Come on now. Toast yourself with me. Come on. Let's lift it up. And we say Ashe. And since we started with the Creator, y'all know we got to close off the circle with the Creator. We lift up the Creator again. We lift up the Creator and we say Ashe. 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 Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years moving into 2023. We are full-fledged into Kwanzaa season. But let me drink some of this ambrosia water. Want to thank y'all for joining us. And make sure you like and share. Get on the email list so that you know the next moves for Gye-Nyame Journey, family. Oh, tastes so good. Oh man. So good.